Welcome back to Salt City Counseling. My friends, once again, my name's Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Today's video is about anxiety. I've been working on this anxiety course, which I hope to have published in the next week or so. One of my New Year's resolutions is just to be more focused and more disciplined and to complete projects. And so I've been working hard on this anxiety course. It's quite long, it's quite comprehensive. I have been just kind of filling in the blanks and completing it and recording some video. So I hope to have it published within a week or so, maybe 10 days, 14 days at the most. But as I'm covering this, anxiety is an important topic. In some regards, it's fairly straightforward, and then in some ways, it's highly complex. And I wanted to talk about the number one myth today that I hear anxious people tell me all the time. I hear this all the time from folks. And it's this. They tell me this, that it's helping them be prepared. Prepared for what exactly, right? Well, supposedly anything and everything, every bad scenario that could possibly happen in their lives. They have a tendency to see their anxiety as some sort of asset or some sort of benefit, something that helps them improve it, or be prepared. That's what they say. They tell me all the time, anxiety helps me be prepared. Now, this is a myth, and I'm going to break this down. I'm going to tell you why this is a total myth. I'm going to tell you what it actually really does. It does not help you be prepared. I'm going to tell you what it does, but first, please subscribe. If you like this content, you want to keep it going for free, you can go buy me a coffee. Link is in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe, share, all that good stuff. You know what to do. And stay tuned for that anxiety course coming relatively soon. I will announce it. For those of you that watch a lot of my content for the high conflict custody divorce and that type of stuff, I do have courses on those. I don't actively have them. I plan to republish them. Turns out on one of them, on probably the most important one or the biggest one or what I think is the best one, it turns out when I had published it before, I completely missed one of the rules that I have. But so look for those. I'm going to be putting those up hopefully too. And so without further ado, anxiety does not help you be prepared. Okay, overthinking does not help you be prepared. This is a myth, and it's weird because anxiety almost tells us interpersonal lies, and a lot of people and I've been in this boat too. I used to be a highly anxious person. When I was in that boat, anxiety was a very powerful emotion. It really would hijack my brain, hijack my emotions, and I just kind of trusted it. I kind of believed what it had to say. I believed that it was protecting me, keeping me safe, or otherwise helping me be prepared for bad things in the future. I thought it was doing something good for me. To some degree, I made that assumption as well. It wasn't very conscientious because when anxiety sets in, you get the tunnel vision and you lack awareness. You can't really see, really in a good way. You're lacking perception. Here's the truth about anxiety: the more anxious you are, the more you shut down, right? And when you shut down, you can find yourself in a state of paralysis. So the higher the anxiety, the higher the level of paralysis, right? You just shut down. And show me a highly anxious person, and I'll show you a person who just they're just in a state of just shutting down, and hiding and protecting themselves and trying to be safe from things that appear to be dangerous but may not be. Anxiety does not help you be prepared. It causes you to shut down, be paralyzed, and freeze. So let's say that you're afraid of certain bad things happening. Let's get a few examples going here. I like this one. I feel like this one is fairly innocuous. Like, let's say a home invasion, and that you're afraid that someone's going to break into your house and they've got a weapon and they're going to hurt you and they're going to take your stuff. They're going to hurt your family. Now, if you sit around and think about it a lot, overthink it, and worry about it a lot, again, the myth is that is helping you be prepared for that situation. It is not. If it were to happen and you would spend all this time worrying about it, overthinking it, if it happened, you wouldn't just suddenly spring into action and thoughtlessly take care of the situation or handle the situation. In fact, the opposite is true. You would freeze. You would completely freeze. In fact, the more anxious or highly anxious a person is, they become, again, paralyzed, and they shut down. They freeze. They're beyond fight or flight, which would be healthy responses, which would be good responses, and they just freeze. Now, if you have kids in the home, for example, in this example of a home invasion, you could increase the danger that they're in by doing nothing, by failing to act. That's what would happen. And regardless of the situation, if you spend hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and weeks and weeks worrying about a certain thing happening or overthinking a thing happening, if that thing were to actually happen, if it's a dangerous thing, you would freeze. You would just completely freeze. And that just makes the whole thing worse. Because honestly, bad anxiety can have a way of creating trauma, and trauma creates powerlessness. And powerlessness is just when you freeze, when you're paralyzed. Now, here's the trick, right? Is realizing that anxiety and worrying and overthinking does not help you be prepared. In fact, preparedness is exactly what helps you be prepared. Nothing else. Being prepared. So if you're worried about a home invasion, you ought to do things that will help you be prepared. Get a dog, get better locks, get lights, get cameras, increase your insurance policy, get a gun, get weapons, put a pair of size 13 boots on your porch. Learn martial arts. Whatever, right? Those things will help you be prepared. If you're afraid of being assaulted, kidnapped, whatever, take action to be prepared. Buy weapons, pepper spray, take martial arts. And this one is interesting. I'll use this example very quickly because I run into this surprisingly often. Not a lot, but just enough where it just makes me go, okay, this is interesting. And it's bear attacks. There's a surprisingly high number of people in my local area that are afraid of being attacked by a bear. I've lived here my whole life, and I've never even seen a bear. I've seen more moose than I've seen bear, and I never see moose. I've seen maybe 3 ever. And bears, they're supposedly around, but man, nobody sees them. And you never hear of anybody being attacked by a bear. I think it did once ever, being attacked by a bear while they were camping. Probably hungry bear, right? But the number of people who keep bear spray in their cars, it's like you live in the city, right? It's irrational. At least they have bear spray. At least they're doing something to be prepared, right? But anxiety has this way about it. It's irrational. It causes us to act and behave irrationally. So really do yourself a favor and forget this myth. Forget about this myth that anxiety is helping you, that it's your friend somehow, that it's doing you a favor. It's definitely not. It's causing, honestly, you to shut down. And maybe ask yourself here, okay, what areas of your life are just in a state of just shut down, and maybe in a state of total avoidance because there's anxiety involved, okay? And and all I'm trying to prove here or demonstrate here is shutting that. Yeah, I'll bet you could identify, if you're an anxious person, you can identify that there are areas of your life that need attention and they don't get it because of that freeze factor of just shutting down, an avoidance tactic, right? Because if there's a lot of anxiety, we just avoid it. There might be a home invasion. I don't want to think about it, so I'm just going to avoid it. And instead of being prepared, I'm the opposite of prepared. I'm ill prepared. Okay? Try to remember this. Excuse me. Overthinking, worrying about stuff, anxiety is not your friend. It's not helping you be prepared. That is a myth. Okay? So that is maybe just one tiny snippet from my anxiety course that will be coming. I'm pretty excited about it. It's very comprehensive. I think people are going to get a lot out of it. So if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get to them. So thank you for being here. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.